What's going on, y'all? Welcome to A Weekend in the Life. I am going to bring you guys along the day. I have to go grocery shopping right now. Today it is Saturday, April 10th, and tomorrow on Sunday I will be having some friends over. We're gonna be working out, doing some hot pot, so it'll be a fun time. Just gonna relax and chill, but I gotta go grocery shopping and get some of the supplies and the food that we need to do hot pot. If you guys don't know what hot pot is, look it up. It's amazing. It's so good. You guys should go try it. There's also been a topic that has been looming on my mind a little bit that I wanted to dabble in. A lot of people have been asking about it, and it really does pertain to my journey as well. So kind of wanted to talk about that on the way, especially when we get home. So for now, let's go shopping. I'll bring you guys along. Let's go. Just got done grocery shopping and I went to the parents' house to pick up some food that they made. My mom asked if I wanted some Japanese curry. I said absolutely. One less day I have to cook, so picked that up. And then a couple other things that I may have left. But on our way back to the house now, I am going to pretty much put everything back in the fridge, make sure that everything is settled and ready for tomorrow, and then clean up a little bit, and then we can get to talking about this one topic that, again, that I mentioned has been looming, and that is my thoughts on college. It's been an obviously big topic in my journey, because if you guys are just tuning in, I did not go to school. I went to community college here in the States for about a year and a half, and I left because, one, it wasn't for me, two, I wasn't really learning anything, and three, overall, I just feel that I'm not a great student in that environment. So I left and wanted to pursue my own thing. Just for backstory, again, for the new people that are joining the channel and are just new to my videos, I am coming from a IT background. I left school with the intent to be an IT support person, and that I did. I worked at a computer store for about a year, and after that got into contracting work, doing actual IT support stuff, and then after a year of that, laid off from that IT support role, and then I was fighting to get a developer role, self-teaching myself through all of 2020, and now here we are, finally employed as one. So college was never in the picture, right? Like, I'm never going back. Not very prevalent in my journey, although a lot of people had questions about it. So I wanted to make a video that kind of reflected on my thoughts, reflected on why I think I didn't go to college, and why I don't see very many other people going to college. And I think it's a very, very interesting point of view, or perspective, if you will, on the whole college thing, and why you're seeing more and more people, especially from our generation, not go to school. Times are changing, you know, and industries are adapting. So I think that there's just a different look at the practicality when it comes to a formal education, and how much you can do without one. So once we get home and put things away, I'm going to touch a little bit more on my thoughts on that specific topic. Before we move on in the video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is being sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes that you can take right now in order to explore new passions, expand on a new skill, or just learn something new that you've been thinking of doing in the new year. Things like photography, videography, video editing, even coding. You have all kinds of classes that you can go on there right now and actually learn starting today. One course that I've actually been following recently, as some of you guys know that I've been doing, is a Shopify theme development course from Christopher Dodd. I've been going through it, looking through a lot of his lessons, and actually it's a really awesome course for what I'm doing right now, learning Shopify development. So it's been an awesome experience for me to just go through it and learn a new skill for something that I'm actually going to be applying in the real world. The platform is curated specifically for learning, so that means there are no ads, and they're always launching premium classes online. Whether it's desktop or mobile, you can literally stay active and follow those classes wherever you are, whether you're on the go or at home. And the best part is it's less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. So if you guys are interested, the first 1,000 of my subscribers can click the link in the description below, and then you guys can get a free trial of a premium membership to explore your creativity. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. All right, so everything is packed away. I've got everything in the fridge. All the errands are done for the day. We're back on set here. Hopefully you guys can see the up in production quality here. I'm finally able to like set up a set here and, you know, it not be a little bit weird. But anyways, let's get back to the topic that I was initially talking about for today. And that was my thoughts on school and the practicality of it in 2021 and in the future. I touched a little bit on my background as far as like, you know, me not finishing school and getting into this industry without a college degree. Now, I kind of pondered this topic a little bit more where, you know, I started seeing a huge volume of questions on it. You know, there's a lot of people around the world, not just here in the States, that are asking the question of like, should I go to school for this? Should I self-teach myself? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? And I'm starting to see a lot of people, whether they're in the States or not, go this route. And I was kind of wondering why we're seeing more and more people opt to not go to school. And I think, you know, speaking from my background and my perspective, and this is the way I see it, it's very interesting to see the reasons why people don't go to school. You know, you go onto the YouTube videos, there are entrepreneurs out there, there are people who are starting their own business, or people who've made it into the industry that they want to be in without a college degree, and then you hear the reasons why. For me personally, having immigrant parents, I saw them work their ass off. I saw them hustle. I saw them grind their way to where they are now. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy path, learning English, trying to fit in and trying to find what it is that you wanted to do. And we owned a restaurant here in San Jose, California, while I was growing up, and sold it in 2017, I believe. To kind of see my parents do that, right? My mom works in tech also, but she's on the logistics sides of things. But to see her not finish school either, to see my dad not go to college, and to see them essentially overwork themselves to get to where they were at. You know, they always came home tired. They always busted their ass. So obviously with coming home tired, with working, my dad literally worked from like 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Came home, ate dinner, did it all again every single day. It did not matter, right? Like he was at the restaurant working. Honestly, like he was not a happy camper all the time. He would come home and it was just like rampages. It was anger. It was just an influx of emotions that just came through. To see that happen, you know, like as a child, you don't want that, you know? So when they're pushing, hey, you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do that, I want you to become this so you don't have to do what we did. It's interesting because it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Some of us don't want to go to college either. Some of us don't want to go the traditional route. Me, for example, didn't want to do it. Watching them essentially suffer, watching them be unhappy with themselves, watching them kind of settle for what they had is not something that I wanted to do, which is why I think that for me personally, and I may speak for many others as well, we reached for something that was fun. We reached for something that we genuinely wanted to do, right? For some people that's live streaming, for some people that's doing YouTube, that for some people it's doing Instagram, or all three that I just listed, or other creative forms to exert yourself in order to create a stream of income. There are a bunch of untraditional routes that you can go to go do the things that you actually genuinely want to do, because at the end of the day, when you see people struggle like that, when you see people unhappy with themselves or whatever it is that they're doing, you don't instinctively get attracted to that and want to reach for that. I never wanted to be a business owner in the sense of owning a restaurant. Just watching my parents go through that was terrible. I never want to be in that business at all. That it deterred me from wanting to do that. I wanted to be a business owner in my own way, in a different scenario, in a different industry. And I wanted to do it on my terms. I wanted it to be
happy with myself. I wanted to be happy with what I was doing. I think that's ultimately some of the reasons why you see a lot of people, especially now through 2020 and 2021, we reach for things that are unconventional, untraditional. You start to see a lot of people drop out of school. You start to see a lot of people just opt to not go at all and reach for ventures like, you know, creating a YouTube channel and providing content for viewers in a way and creating a stream of income that way, or doing startups, creating a product, an MVP of something that's in their minds with a group of friends and trying to get funding for this thing and get this thing to pop off. And you're starting to see a lot of that tradition, a lot of that startup vibe pop up, especially now in the recent times. Not to say that it wasn't prevalent before, but I just feel like through our generation, specifically my generation, we are reaching for unconventional routes. And those are my thoughts on college, is that look at what's available to all of us right now. You are able to pick up a camera and do something with it immediately. As long as you have a computer, a camera, an internet connection, you can do something. You don't even necessarily need to be, you don't have to have the greatest equipment. You don't have to have everything at your disposal. You just need a will and an idea, and you set off on that journey to create that idea to something practical. And through that, you can create something tangible to bring in a stream of income and do something that you actually love to do. And I think that's ultimately my perspective on it, is that I'd rather reach for something that's practical. I'd rather do something with my life that is, you know, meaningful to me personally and actually makes me happy. And I think that's the real big thing that comes with number 3, is that I want to be happy with my life. I want to retire happy, or I want to work my whole life and be happy at the same time. Doing YouTube for you guys, posting on Instagram, connecting on Twitter. Every stream that I've got going on Twitch is a form of connection to my audience that I genuinely love. And yes, it does bring money. Is it, you know, something that I can live off of full time? No. Is that the goal? Potentially, yes. I would love to grow this thing to be full time and, you know, really live off of this thing. But that's the thing, is that I was able to grow this from the ground up, and I'm doing something that I love, and my parents are slowly starting to come to terms with that and understand what it is I do. I got a dev job based off of networking and self-teaching myself software development, and now I'm here. I'm in the industry. I'm doing the things that I want to do, and I'm loving my life right now. And I'm just so grateful that I get to say that, because unfortunately not many people can. They fall into the minds and the opinions of either their parents or other friends that rather go traditional routes, and they don't follow their guts. You want to follow what it is you want to do. If you want to go do something, take the risk and go do it. It's never too late to go do something, especially in the form of content creation or software development, what this channel focuses mainly on, right? Like, I want to be one of the people in the community that can show you anything is possible should you put your mind to it. And I worked my ass off through 2020, right? I wanted this thing. A lot of people told me you can't do it, right? You get the articles seeing people come in at 3 months, 6 months without a college degree, and I was like, great, that's not me. I want to do this thing on my time. And a little over a year, and we finally did it. So put your mind to something and get to work on it. I don't think that you need college at the end of the day, right? Like, if college isn't gonna get you to where you wanna be, or if college is making you unhappy, you need to be self-aware enough to the point where you're like, yes, absolutely, I don't think college is it, right? Like, I've come to terms with it. I've thought about this. I have a plan, and I'm gonna go do X or Y or whatever it is that you wanna do and execute on it, right? So those are my thoughts on college. I think that you should be reaching for more practical ways. I am not saying that college should not be an option for you. There are people in this world that strive off of that structure and that curriculum that they give, and, you know, just the overall environment that college gives. People like that pace. If that is you, go for it. If that isn't, look at your opportunities, look at your options, and then, you know, connect the dots there and then execute. That's the main thing. So those are my thoughts on why I think college is dropping out of the kind of, you know, picture here. I don't think it's going to die, but I do think that more and more people are going to opt to self-teach and self-educate just solely based off of how many resources that we have. And ultimately the decision is yours as far as where you go. But hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully I answered a couple of your guys' questions that you guys send me. If you have any more, or you would like me to clarify anything else on this topic or anything related, just hit me down in the comments, email me, whatever form of communication. I will do my best to get right back to you. But that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.